welcome to the Dream Team Professor podcast. In this episode, we're going to be looking at all of the top point scorers and key talking points from Game Week 25 Dream Team so far. Now, we've only had the weekend's action, so Premier League, Carabao Cup final, and then we're recording this on Tuesday morning. So last night we did have West Ham's win against Brentford, but we're going to start with Liverpool-Chelsea, the Carabao Cup final, a 1-0 win to Liverpool, and Virgil van Dijk getting the only goal of the game with a 118th minute bullet header. Starting off, no Darwin Núñez or Mohamed Salah in the squad. Possibly the biggest bit of Dream Team news. A lot of people transferred in Mohamed Salah. We were looking yesterday on the Dream Team Tonic podcast, and Salah was in pretty much 50% of teams in the top 1K. So if they were transfers in, if a lot of them were transfers in this week, people would have been disappointed that it didn't feature or even make the bench for the Carabao Cup final. Núñez didn't make the bench either, but it did sort of somehow manage to leap the the barrier to get onto the pitch to celebrate afterwards. So he looked like he was probably in a better way than Mohamed Salah. When it comes to points, Virgil van Dijk, we're going to start with him. 15 points, goal, clean sheet, tackle points, bonus points. And he was someone that I was considering bringing in this week. Obviously, he did really well the week before. Scored another goal in that game. And almost part of my thinking was I went for more attacking moves, because I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe Van Dijk only plays the final, doesn't play in the FA Cup potentially. And he's not going to score every week, is he? He's a centre-back. He's not going to score every week. Well, in the first half, he scored a header from a Robertson cross, which was narrowly ruled out for actually, I think it was a block on the Chelsea defender from Endo, I believe. I thought it was offside at first, but more to do with the block. But basically, had the goal ruled out through offside. And although I would have got the Robertson assist, I was kind of relieved because Virgil van Dijk is highly owned. But he still went on to score later in the game to get the winner with another bullet header. 15 points, a really good return to him, and he's looking really, really good at the moment. Just dangerous from every set piece as well. There was one that he sort of headed the ball back into the box as well, which almost led to a goal, forced a great save. So Virgil van Dijk is looking very, very dangerous from these set pieces. And actually, Virgil van Dijk, I was looking defensively. You can just look at this on Dream Team. But out of all the defenders, he's right up there for shots on target as well. So 12 shots on target puts him second behind Matty Cash, who's got 16. So one of the biggest threats when it comes to set pieces, corners, etc. So Virgil van Dijk, 15 points. I'm going to come to Robertson, who's on my team. So 11 points for him. I'll completely take that. 8 player performance marks, 3 bonus points. So again, doing really, really well on the bonus system. In his last 3 starts for bonus, he got 3 points, 1 point, and 3 points. And the one that he got 1 bonus point, he was only 1 player performance mark off getting 3 bonus. So he almost could have had consecutive 3 lots of free bonus basically in his last 3. So Robertson doing really, really well for bonus points at the minute and could be a good player to target if you haven't got him already. Quite a lot of the defence and the goalkeeper are doing quite well for Liverpool at the minute. So Kelleher, 2 million, made 9 saves in this game. It was a good performance from both keepers. So 9 saves from Kelleher and 10 saves from Petrovic. So Kelleher finished on 11 with that clean sheet and Petrovic finished with 7 points. Conor Bradley, 3 starts in a row for him. 7 points in this game. You probably would have been relieved, actually, like me. I had Robertson. If you had Bradley, you would have been probably quite relieved to see them go off to bank that clean sheet. But it would have been fine anyway. They would have gone on to keep it. Luis Diaz has been really, really popular as well. Obviously, without Darwin Núñez and without Salah, he looks like he's one of the ones that's going to be most nailed at the moment on that left-hand side. 5 points, 1 bonus, 2 shots on target for him. Maybe a little bit disappointing. He looked absolutely knackered by the end of it. And I'd be a little bit worried if he'll start that second game now. I did think that he'd start both games this week, but he was running on empty by the end of it. So 1 bonus, 2 shots on target from him. Still think he's a great pick. Petrovic, like I mentioned, 7 points, 10 saves. And then probably Gusto's going to be someone that I highlight from the Chelsea defence. I've been impressed with him in the last 2 matches, really. So that game, or the game that they had against Manchester City, he dealt with Doku really well, racked up a load of tackles in that game. That was 8 tackles. And then in this game, obviously was facing up against Luis and made 6 tackles, finished up on 7 points with a bonus point as well. So very good performance from Malagusto, and had a shot on target as well. So does a bit of everything. Defends well and gets forward. Cole Palmer, I wasn't actually expecting very much from him in this game, but 8 points, pretty impressive again. 1 bonus, 7 player performance marks, so he wasn't far off getting 3 bonus, and had 4 shots on target, 2 big chances created. So a lot of us will be looking to potentially move Palmer on after he finishes this double game week. They've got Leeds coming up, but he does seem to do well in a lot of games at the moment. But with Europe starting up, I think we'll probably look to go elsewhere. Last person I'm going to mention, Conor Gallagher. He just seems to be racking up the points as well recently. 7 points for him. 11 player performance marks. This is going to be, now we can see these player performance marks, it's going to be a bit of a frustrating one for players that you have got, because he was another player, 1 player performance mark off of hitting the maximum bonus. So 11 player performance marks, finished up with 3 bonus, had 3 tackles and 1 shot on target. Obviously, Liverpool have got the FA Cup match against Southampton coming up, and Chelsea have got their FA Cup match against Leeds. One last thing as well, Tsimikas was the guy that came back and got the assist for the Virgil goal. West Ham Brentford took place last night, and didn't watch this one, watched the highlights because we were streaming live on the Dream Team Tonic podcast to our patrons, so link in the description below if you're interested in getting involved with that. West Ham 4, Brentford 2. Jared Bowen, hat-trick, so 2 goals within 7 minutes. A lot of the talk before the game was Paqueta coming back, because West Ham have had no wins in 8 games before this. And a lot of their poor form sort of correlated with Paqueta not being available. He comes back, and straight away West Ham are back scoring. So Bowen with the hat-trick, 20 points, 3 shots on target, 3 goals. 20 points doesn't seem that much for a hat-trick now without these extra points that we used to get, but I'm sure you'll take it if you did have Bowen. And Bowen now, recency bias a little bit maybe, but he's made his way up to the 2nd highest transferred in player ahead of next game week. So a lot of people are going to be targeting Bowen. Virgil van Dijk, who I mentioned in the last slide, he's currently the 4th most transferred in player. Kudus with an assist, 7 points, 1 bonus, 1 shot on target, 1 big chance created. And then Emerson, 16 points, goal, assist, and then hit the maximum bonus with 13 player performance marks. So really impressive, 16 points, 13 player performance marks. He's got the most tackles out of any defender in the game at the minute, so 91 tackles for Emerson. You had Sofal, got his 6th assist of the season, so I mean, I'm not feeling too confident on these West Ham defenders still, but maybe if you wanted to take a chance going into these Europa League matches, maybe Sofal or Emerson could be ones that have a bit of attacking threat, but not really for me at the minute. They face Everton, Freiburg, Burnley and Freiburg in their next 4. So in the case of Everton and Burnley, not 2 very great attacking sides. Freiburg will obviously be a bit of a challenge, but could potentially be some clean sheets there. And then Neil Maupay got his 8th goal of the season, scoring for Brentford. And then Visser came on off the bench to grab a goal in the second half. But not very much for Ivan Toney, just the 4 points. But yeah, main talking point is that Bowen is probably going to be back on a lot of people's radar after a lot of blanks. Arsenal 4, Newcastle 1. It's a fun time. It's a fun time to be an Arsenal fan. So we're in really, really good form since coming back from that winter break. Saka, 10 points, goal. He's got 7 goals in his last 6 matches. He cannot stop scoring. So 10 points for him. 2 shots on target. 1 tackle, so didn't get the tackle points, but 1 big chance created as well. Again, He's not got the double game week next week, but there's no way that you're taking Saka out before Sheffield United, in my opinion. Obviously, Sheffield United did a little bit better, only conceding the one against Wolves this week. But you can't fancy him going into that Arsenal match at the moment with their form. Kai Havertz all laughed at me when I mentioned him the other day. Goal and an assist for him, playing that centre-forward role. And I think that's where he's been most effective. I think he's done okay in that sort of left centre mid role. But actually, when Gabriel Jesus has been out, in some of these big matches, so Newcastle, the Liverpool match is the one that springs to mind. And actually, even the Community Shield match against City when we played Havertz up top. In my head, they're the three best matches I think I've seen Kai Havertz play in. Just seems to hold up the ball really well, and it seems to bring all the other players into the game. Gabriel Jesus was on the bench, didn't get on. But at the moment, I think I'd like to carry on seeing Kai Havertz playing as that centre-forward. 7 goals, 4 assists for the season as well. Declan Rice, so his 6th assist of the season. He also has 4 goals. His corner delivery is fantastic. Obviously, something they worked on during the winter break. And since going on to those sort of left-sided corners, Arsenal have been doing so well, scoring from set pieces. Really does put in a great cross. And it just seems a little bit strange because he's so big. You think that he should be one of the guys in the box. But that delivery is incredible. So he grabbed his 6th assist of the season for the Kivior goal. And Kivior himself has got 1 goal, 2 assists, I think, in his last 4 matches. He's been thriving in that left-back position. But what the change has been is that Zinchenko, when he's left-back, normally goes into midfield. But instead, Kivior tried that at first. Didn't work out. He's now sort of playing more traditional left-back or tucking in a little bit because he is a centre-back by trade. And Ben White is inverting. It just seems to be benefiting Kivior quite a lot. He's looked good, and I wouldn't be surprised if he stays in that team when Zinchenko does come back. Zinchenko just can't seem to stay fit this season. Newcastle, late goal, denied Arsenal the 3rd clean sheet in 4 matches. That was one of our old players, Joe Willock, and a Dan Burn assist off the bench. They did start Livramento. I did worry actually for Dan Burn going up against Saka. The way his form has been recently, but Dan Burn was benched, came off the bench, grabbed himself an assist. Kieran Trippier, blank, no points in this one. Again, he's having a little bit of a dip. He was someone that was actually considering bringing in for this double game week, and he could still do well against Blackburn. Did look like he pulled up early in the first half, but went on to play the full 90 minutes, so must be fine. Dubravka was ill, so Karius was in goal. And then Bruno Guimaraes, he's been walking that tightrope for yellow cards. He didn't actually get one in this game. I didn't think he put a very good performance in at all. But still smashed the bonus points. 11 player performance marks got him 3 bonus. And I'm pretty sure he was on the maximum 5 bonus, but it looks like he dropped at some point. But yeah, just surprising that you can get max bonus even in a game where you don't really look that impressive. The only thing that I've just realised that I didn't mention is Gabriel Martinelli grabbed an assist. So decent return for him, 6 points. But again, early substitute off in the 64th minute. He didn't look happy about it as well. He keeps getting subbed off for Trossard fairly early. Aston Villa 4, Nottingham Forest 2. Ollie Watkins scores again. So a goal in the 4th minute and then grabbed himself an assist as well. Currently the most transferred player in ahead of game week 26, and no surprise, he has 16 goals, 15 assists, and then Aston Villa are now going to be playing in the Europa League conference, so be playing twice a week, and he's just on great form. I'm hoping that I can get him in soon, catch him while he's on a bit of a streak, because I've had him quite a few times this season, and I feel like I've missed a lot of his big hauls. So someone that I'd be very interested in getting in. 11 points this game week for him. Douglas Luiz, 18 points. And he's also made the list of top transferred players in so far this game week. So he's up to 3rd now. Does just go to show that it only sort of takes a good performance to get you in that list. He has been good this season. A lot of his goals have been from the penalty spot so far. But these 2 were in open play. 18 points, 2 goals, 3 bonus points as well. And he's doing really, really well for bonus. It just seems to be because of these corners, or playing to a big chunk of it anyway, these successful crosses. Obviously, Declan Rice is now doing really well for bonus. Robertson doing well for bonus. Pascal Gross. The corner takers seem like a little bit of a cheat code. Of course, you've got to do other stuff as well. But when you are sort of like a central midfielder or a fullback, it just seems to work in your favour a little bit for bonus. So he is a good option. 18 points. 6th highest midfielder in the game now. And obviously on penalties. 9 goals, 7 assists for the season. John McGinn, 9 points, an assist and 3 bonus points. He's actually only 9 points behind Douglas Luiz. So he's having a good season himself. 8 goals, 5 assists. Leon Bailey, smashing it this season. Maybe a little bit under the radar. I've seen him in a few people's teams so far. Can be a bit frustrating because he does seem to get subbed off fairly regularly and rotated fairly regularly. But the attacking returns are ridiculous. 9 goals, 11 assists for the season. So already up to 20 attacking returns. Not much from Nottingham Forest. I doubt many people are going to be targeting their players this season now. Morgan Gibbs-White scored a goal. Only his 4th of the season. But Forest have scored 2 goals in each of their last 3 matches. So they're no pushovers. They do seem to have improved, but they're not really getting the results. But they face United in the Cup this week, which United didn't look good this weekend. We'll come on to them. But maybe this game could be a little bit tougher for United. And Liverpool in the Premier League. I don't think it's going to be that easy of a game to play. Bournemouth, Manchester City. So 1-0 to Manchester City in the end. We'll start off with the lineup. So De Bruyne was benched. We got that in the early leaks. And if you're like me, you might have thought, well, if De Bruyne is benched, there's a good chance that Alvarez starts. I transferred him in this week, and he was benched for his first Premier League game of the season. Previously, he'd played every single Premier League game. But for this one, he was benched. Walker benched as well. And Doku benched. So a lot of popular players did not start this Bournemouth game. You had Ederson. You had Ake, Diaz, Akanji. You had John Stones, who was joining the midfield, but he was all over the place in this game. Really good performance from John Stones. He was more in the middle with Rodri and Kovacic. Phil Foden. Mateus Nunes was playing left wing, which was surprising. And then Bernardo Silva off the right with obviously Haaland up front. The Nunes one was probably the biggest surprise. I didn't think he had a good game at all, and he did get taken off early, but he seems to be someone that's decent for bonus. I don't think he's really pickable because of rotation, but managed 8 player performance marks, 3 bonus. Erling Haaland, so 6 points, couple of big misses. Did look like he had his boots on the wrong feet in the first half at least. A couple of big misses, 2 shots on target, and one of these shots on target, it's always been the case, but it just seems so wrong. One of the shots on target was saved by the keeper. Foden puts it in. Haaland gets the assist. These ones are really bugging me at the minute, even though I obviously have Haaland in my team. 97% capped, and he has been maybe slightly underwhelming recently, so it'd be interesting to know if more people do go against him. Maybe frustration will start to kick in a little bit, but with Man United at the weekend, I think Man United and Copenhagen, I think they look like 2 good fixtures for Haaland again. So interesting to see if he changes from 97% captain much. Foden, 12 points, goal, 15th goal of the season. He managed 3 shots on target, a big chance created, and a bonus point. And he's now the 2nd highest scoring player in the game, but also the 2nd highest for bonus points with 43 behind Bruno Guimaraes. Julian Alvarez, benched for the first time this season. Mentioned that already. Hopefully he does get the FA Cup match. Ederson, 4 saves, and I think maybe we owe Ederson a little bit of an apology. I've got him in goal, and I've been really pleased with him since I've had him in. But obviously a lot of the talk is it doesn't really make many saves, which is true. And costs City quite a few clean sheets, but we've got to call it 3 clean sheets in his last 5 matches now. 4 saves in this one. He's actually been keeping quite a lot of saves recently. I'll just bring him up now quickly. So he made 4 saves in this match, 2 saves in the Brentford game, Chelsea game, 5 saves, but none in the Copenhagen one before that. But yeah, he has made some decent saves in the last couple of games, so good pick in goal, Ederson. Obviously, Doku came on, didn't really do anything. Alvarez came on in the 75th minute, again, nothing really there. And then De Bruyne on in the 84th minute, but little impact again, just a yellow card for him. Probably going to see a lot of rotation in midweek. Man United versus Fulham, so 2-1 to Fulham. Big surprise. One of the big bits of news going into this one, just after I'd made my Rasmus Højlund thumbnail for the last video, and a little video saying why I thought he was good, ruled out through injury. So no Rasmus Højlund for Man United in this one. Bruno Fernandes got 9 points. He's now the 7th highest midfielder in the game. He is creeping up there, playing a bit more advanced because they had Manu and Casemiro in this game. So he got an assist. Again, another assist that was a shot on goal, parried out, and then Harry Maguire following up with the rebound. So Maguire grabbing a goal in this game. 2 goals, 4 assists for Maguire, so 6 attacking returns. Questionable yellow card, maybe could have been a red. I didn't think it was really, but it wasn't too different to the red card we saw for Billy Gilmore, I didn't think, in the Brighton game, but got away with it. 7 points for Maguire. And then Garnacho, 7 points as well. 11 player performance marks. Another player that was 1 short of getting the maximum bonus points in this game. Talking of Rasmus Højlund, he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks now, which is a big miss. I think a lot of people had their eye on him. Marcus Rashford was up top, but again, just the 3 points for Rashford. I can't see many people picking him up between now and the end of the season. For Fulham, I don't think it's that relevant. I don't think many people are going to be choosing Fulham players, but Iwobi and Bassi got the goals, Castane and Adama Traore with the assists. Brighton 1, Everton 1. We had a bit of a stalemate till later in the game. Brentford with the goal for Everton. I don't think many people would have owned him, but Ulio and Lamptey were subbed off, banked their clean sheet, and then Brantwaite got the Everton goal. So if you did have them, you'd have been pleased about that. Lewis Dunk grabbed the equaliser in the 95th minute. He's doing well for attacking returns this season. For me, Estupinian off the bench in the 60th minute, but only managed some tackle points. It's not looking good for him. He had his pasta with De Zerbi. There was a little bit of hope. I got fooled by some geezer leaking fake news on Twitter that Estupinian was supposed to be starting. Maybe he gets the Wolves game. But yeah, he's got to go. Pascal Gross, though, probably the hero of the game for most people. I brought him in this week. 7 points, 3 bonus points. Hit tackles as well. He's got 39 bonus from 32 matches. 5 goals, and this was his 13th assist of the season. Really good for set pieces and crosses. Had a really good game. From Everton, another one we're probably not going to be targeting that much. Brantwaite got a goal, 9 points. McNeil been very consistent with bonus points. He's hit 3 bonus in 3 of his last 4 matches. But like I said, I can't see us going for Everton players. Wolves, Sheffield United. So Wolves were a fairly popular pick going into this game week, probably because of the Sheffield United match, but obviously it's a decent double game week as well. I think they're playing, is it Brighton later this week? Just double check that. Yeah, Brighton at home. But this was the game that most were looking to target. Hwang, Neto, the 2 most popular ones to go for. 4 players in the top 1k captained Hwang as well. So let me know if that's you. Any of you watching captained Hwang. Wolves kept a clean sheet. Three of the last 4 teams that played against Sheffield United kept a clean sheet. So Wolves keeping it here. Arsenal are facing Sheffield United next. So although it is a single, maybe it's one to get an Arsenal defender in against Sheffield United. They looked a bit better, but again, very poor side. A lot of the talk before the game was who would take penalties, Hwang or Sarabia. There were no penalties in this game, but Sarabia was the goal scorer. So 9 points, 5 player performance marks, 1 bonus for him. He's on 3 goals, 10 assists for the season, so maybe going a little bit under the radar. Hwang, it would have been unreal if it actually did happen. But Hwang went down in the warm-up, so there was a scare that he might not actually play the match. But he did start, but he blanked. 2 points for Hwang. -1 player performance marks. And then Pedro Neto, 5 points in this game. Again, consistent with the bonus points. Getting 3 bonus in this one. I keep reading out his bonus each week and it just keeps impressing me. So 28 bonus points from 20 matches played. But I think this was probably the game week to take the punt on Wolves. And I think you'll be looking to get them out. Crystal Palace Burnley, I'm just going to brush over this one because it's not much of interest. I thought it was interesting that Jordan Ayew got 16 points in this one, a goal, assist, maximum bonus, and he has the most bonus points out of strikers. There's not many strikers getting bonus this season. He has 30 bonus points from 26, but we're not bringing him in, are we really? Mateta, Richards grabbed the goals. Eze, back in training, could potentially be back for the next match against Spurs, but Elise probably isn't going to be back till around the start of April. But I'm not going to bore you with any more Crystal Palace Burnley. And then on to my team update then. So don't always do this, but I'll just chuck it in this one. So 80 points so far for the game week. Let me know in the comments below how you're doing for points so far this week. I'm pretty happy with 80 points. Little green arrow, but it is only midweek, so I won't read too much into it. 381st down to 318th. Edison got me 9 points in goal. Pleased with that. Stupinian, I told you. Disappointed. I thought that he might be starting, but hopefully he does get that Wolves away match. Otherwise, he's completely written off. Ake with 8 points. Robertson with 11. I've been really pleased with Robertson since bringing him in. Obviously, there are other good options at Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk, Conor Bradley looking good. But Robertson with these crosses. I didn't actually mention it on the slide as well. Obviously, he took the cross that assisted the Virgil van Dijk goal that was disallowed. He also put in a really good cross. I can't remember who it was for. I think it might have been Gakpo, just in open play. And then Gakpo hit the post as well. So he's creating so many dangerous chances. Pleased with that 11 points. But I don't expect him to really play that FA Cup game. I imagine probably Gomez or Tsimikas is going to get that at left back. Palmer, 8 points. Good performance from him. Plays Leeds in midweek. Saka, 10 points. Foden with 12. Maybe Foden gets a rest in that Luton game. He's played a lot of games. De Bruyne, nil point. And I can't see him really playing Luton, which is a bit concerning. Maybe they will play him for that FA Cup game to get him some minutes. But big double game week next week. United and Copenhagen. Maybe he's rested again. Pascal Gross, 7 points. Really pleased with that. I hope he plays in that Wolves game because he's racked up so many minutes for Brighton this season. But I think they do need him. Haaland, captained, 12 points. It's all right. It's all right. And then Alvarez, disappointing, 1 point. I really do hope he gets that Luton game because he's been one of my transfers in this week. I was kind of tempted to go for Ollie Watkins with the single, just so that I had him in place for the double next week. But I really did think, when I heard that Kevin De Bruyne was going to be out, I thought Alvarez is probably going to get 2 matches this week. I thought maybe in the first match, if De Bruyne is out, Alvarez should definitely start. And then I was thinking in my head, Haaland maybe gets rested for Luton, so Alvarez could be the main striker for that Luton game. But obviously didn't play out that way. So if it didn't work out already, my transfers this week was Darwin Núñez, out for Alvarez, which I'm happy with that. I just had a feeling that I just didn't want to keep potentially injured players in my team. I had both Jota, who's ruled out for 2 months, and Nunez, who we kind of weren't sure on. So I just decided to take them out. I had an eye on Salah and maybe bringing him in, but I just didn't want to take the chance. So far, it's justified. They didn't make the squad for the first match. They could still punish me in that FA Cup match. But I think if they were going to be risked, it would have been risked for the the cup final. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nunez and Salah maybe miss out in the next one. So Alvarez came in, didn't do anything, but still Luton to play. And then Pascal Gross came in for the other one, got me 7 points, and he's a long-term hold for me with these Europa matches. So pretty pleased with the Gross move. Alvarez will give him another game, wait and see. I've got my eyes still on Ollie Watkins, like a lot of people by the looks of things. Most transferred in player ahead of game week 26. Probably would be looking to take Cole Palmer out this week with his single next week, and then look to get someone that plays twice. So Ollie Watkins would obviously fit the bill there. But if Salah is back available, maybe I have to prioritise Salah. I really want to get Stupinian out this week, so it would mean only bringing in one attacking player and then one defensive player because I'm at 3 at the back. So could be Stupinian to Virgil van Dijk potentially. Looks like the obvious move at the moment. And then maybe Cole Palmer to either Watkins or Salah, depending on fitness of Mohamed Salah. Or if I just think that Salah might only play one game next week, maybe I do just go for Watkins because you know that he's just going to get 2 lots of 90 minutes. Yeah, let me know how you got on so far this week. Obviously, shorter episode. I've got my top players to target for Game Week 26. Episode will be out later in the week. I just want to say thank you to everyone that joined our first live stream, deadline stream, last Saturday. Really surprised how many people got involved, so that was really great. I'm really sorry that we couldn't answer everyone's questions. Like, I thought we'd probably get like 10 or 15 people join and I'd have a little chat with everyone back and forth, but I think there was 300 odd people in there, and we received almost 500 messages. So we're gonna have to try and think of a way that we either keep it going longer or we can answer more of your questions. And I just wanted to apologise to Solo97, ex Mazza, and Was Alan. First time doing these deadline live streams, and the software I was using didn't bring up the super chats on the screen, so I didn't know that we even had any super chats till the very end. So I can only apologise to you guys that left a super chat and I missed your question. Yeah, a novice mistake, but I know how to figure it out next time. But I had a look and I can't send it back. I would have sent back the super chat, but YouTube do no refunds. So yeah, if you give us a follow on Twitter at DreamTeamProf, I'll be happy to just help you out with your team for next week, answer any questions you got. I do apologise that I couldn't get to your question. But yeah, we'll do another one of those next week. Make sure you subscribe, because I think I'm going to have to turn the chat on to subscribers only, just to maybe keep the questions down a little bit, try and figure that out. We might do it on the Dream Team Tonic page and rotate it each week. So obviously I was with Ben from the Dream Team Tonic on the last one. I think we might do it on the Dream Team Tonic page. So do go over to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, follow them on YouTube as well, and check out the latest episode, because we recorded last night. That should be out for everyone on Wednesday. Early access to our patrons, and we've got a Discord community as well. There'll be a link in the description below for that. But yeah, thanks everyone. See you on the next one. Goodbye.